Hello, good evening, welcome back. It starts again. This thing of ours, the Grand Stream, we're booked in for our scheduled 8 p.m. deliverance. We have Stefan sitting in the green room, ready to join us presently. I have plenty of articles I want to touch upon. I want to get through a little video presentation first and foremost, but before we begin, and as I always do, please don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscription button if you haven't done so already. Please leave your thoughts, comments, and witticisms in the comment section down below. We do love to read through them and have a great conversation with you there and afterwards. Also, if you could, please consider becoming a member of the Grand Stream by clicking on the join button here directly beside the subscribe button, and a big shout out and a thank you to all of those supporting the platform. Links in the description how you may do so. Also our Teespring link in there, and your continued support over on the Gran Torino website, World Wide Web, grantorino.ie. Fada bing, fada bone. We got that out of the way. One more, we have to pay homage to our friends over at the Little Pharma. The Little Pharma, we love our enzymes so much, we keep them alive. Wheatgrass and barleygrass mighty shot. Small wonder they're so good. One wheatgrass shot is equivalent to one leafy green intake of your leafy green veg barleygrass juice, full of antioxidants. Just shake and shoot. Don't forget to enter in your code GT for your discount. Okay, before I begin with and bring my next guest, Stefan from Sanity for Sweden. I'm a very great alternative voice news personality based over in Sweden. I'm sure you're all very much aware of them. And for those that are subscribers of Stefan for Sweden, welcome. Delighted you could join us. Thanks for tuning in to this thing of ours over here in the Republic of Ireland. Delighted you could join us. Mary's board in the live chat there this evening. Robert K, thanks very much. The sound is good. The camera is good. We are on the mobile platform. Not liked and shared. GP. Appreciate that, Stephen Douglas. Big shout out to you over on Facebook and Periscope. Joining us over there, Martin Murphy joining us over on YouTube. Siobhan Murphy, great to see you. Colin Roachford, Kim Erswell, to name but a few. Our friend John Cena, Liam Kelly, Rogue Z, good to see you, young man. Stargirl D joins us once again from California. Hey. Absolutely appreciate that. Lots of great comments. Like I said to you, I am working off the mobile platform, so it's a little bit clink. We do have the laptop in for repair, and hopefully we should have some results back on that again tomorrow, and we can get started again. I do indeed, Vaughn, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Juan P-Man just jumping in as we wait for the room to fill up. 182 as I speak with you now. Don't forget to smash that like button if you would. It just pushes us into the recommendation list and helps spread the word. As I say, Stefan is in the green room. We will get to it presently. Of all the news articles, and I'll go through them with you in the morning when we do our morning show at 9 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. For those of you tuning in from abroad, please join us. We'd love to see you there. Plenty of articles. I might touch upon them with Stefan presently in relation to the World Bank pressurizing Belarus to take its loans on conditions it implements a mandatory vaccination or mask wearing and lockdown procedures. It is now dangling the carrot. If you want these coronavirus funds, which Ireland has readily accepted and is indeed implementing it. We hear word over here that contact tracers or compliance wardens are now taking to the streets in various locations, having been offered 50 quid for 2 hours training and to take to the streets and enforce the mandatory social distancing. But again, alternative media is providing those around the world with alternative sources of information. We've already spoke to you this morning at length about the doctors in America, the white coat doctors taking to the streets to promote and laud therapeutic remedies for the current situation, the pandemic, and indeed a great controversy is in the making. And I believe we have one of the greatest, as Ivan Yates says, one of the biggest scandals in Irish history will eventually unfurl when the undeniable truth comes out about the shameful condition and treatment of our elderly residents here in the Republic of Ireland and around the world as well. I noticed the same situation in New York with Cumio coming under fire for his insertion of COVID positive patients in the nursing homes. And again, many doctors trying very much to speak out, but under threat of losing their license, their practicing license. And again, that is a tactic we see being played out worldwide. Let me play this for you here as well in relation to all things face nappies. We're going to dodge the algorithms as much as possible, try not to trick out the trigger words. Triggered, absolute triggered. Apologies for the singing session this morning. Not apologies, but it just kind of burst out. A lot of people speaking out wanted to do it. Yeah, absolutely, Eunice. Appreciate that, King. Andrew Johnson joining us over on Facebook. Appreciate that. I believe the tech leaders, what becomes of it, pretty much like Attorney General Barr. He wasn't going to tell them nothing. There was nothing to be said, and it was more a show dance and a showboat. But let's get to this video. I have to play it the old-fashioned way because I can't share the screen with you, but I will play this. Let me know your thoughts. 8 minutes. Bear with.
Hey, so I noticed something about the masks.
Let me know you're getting a 5x5 there, please, live chat.
You know, I posted a couple of photos and a couple of videos about people using a vape. You know, the vaporizers that getting all their flavored juice, nicotine juice and things. And they were putting a mask on and they were breathing through the mask, and you see the stuff just go everywhere, right? And I thought something, because science is observation and measurement at its core, right? It's the ability to observe. So I saw something very simple. When you're wearing a mask and you breathe out, the vapor is expelled all around your face, right? And that keeps the gas, the vapor, at face level, at eye level. The eyes are the things that need protection more than anything else. In fact, if we were to do a large study on people that wore glasses, where are my glasses? Versus people, oh, these are dirty. You can tell with all the lights on. Versus people that didn't wear glasses. What we would find is that people that wear glasses, just normal glasses like these, would contract viruses and bacterial infections into their body less than people that don't wear glasses, because it's a form of eye protection. You can see how dirty these are, perhaps. Can't really. But that's well, you can see here, there's a couple of droplets that have left a mark on the lens there, right? There's 3, 4, 5 droplets right there. Well, those didn't, there's another one over here. Those didn't enter my eye because there was a barrier there, right? Well, that's the common way that you contract a cold or a virus. You get something on your hands and you rub your eyes. People do this all the time. They play with their ears, they play with their mouth. Your mouth can handle a much higher viral load without you getting sick than what your eyes can. So people like pick their teeth and then they're rubbing their eye. I'm not going to even do it now because I just touched my tooth, but with a dog here somewhere. And so what happens is you end up transferring things into your eyes. Once you get the bacteria in your eye, even if you're exposed to a virus in your mouth, your body may not succumb to it at all because your viral load will be very low still. Your mouth can take care of it. Your mouth is full of enzymes, go to work, destroy everything in there. It's digesting everything. All these protein shells that the viruses are surrounded by, they get destroyed by your saliva enzymes, right? Well, you don't have that functioning in your eyes. Very important. What happens when you start putting this on and you start breathing and you see what happens here? Let's do this. Watch my glasses. You see? I can't even see you anymore. I can't see myself. What's happening here? What's happening is the moisture is racing up here and washing over my eyes. So all of these water droplets that are picking up debris from my mouth are then moving up and blowing across my eyes. Oh. So you can transfer viruses and bacteria from a place that is safe and is not going to hurt you, and you can transfer it into your eyes where it will hurt you. Oh. So that's a big thing in and of itself. But it's not just you. It's not just you. It's all the people around you. You see, I don't vape, so I can't show you something. I don't have a vape like a teenager. But if I did, and I was to blow smoke out my nose, where would it go? Well, you see people smoking a cigarette, and you see why do they often blow the smoke out of their nose? To keep it away from their eyes, because it's an irritant, right? So they'll blow it out of their nose. They might even direct it to the side with their nostrils. Or they want it to go over here, and they'll blow the smoke over here because it blows it away from the eyes. What happens when you wear a mask? When you wear a mask and suddenly it's going everywhere, the vapor is no longer going down to the ground from your nostrils. Instead, it's being contained at eye level. And as you walk away, all of that vapor remains, and the person walking behind you walks straight through that vapor cloud. I just need to plug in real quick on my phone. Let me just plug this in here. Do you understand what I'm saying? The masks are spreading COVID-19. The masks are spreading the virus. Now, I posted this on Twitter a few hours ago, and it's starting to go viral right now.
You can hear that there. He's posted the link. It's gone out and about. I just thought it was important to give that premise there and put that thought. As he said, it's observational studies. He's observing it. That's what science is. John Fallon, I agree. That makes perfect sense. Just to get that out there as a matter of record, and I want to bring in Stefan now. Just thank him very much for sitting patiently, waiting in the background there. Stefan, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. How are you, sir?
How are you, Rowan? Nice to be here again. Good to see you.
Great to have you back there. I've been following your work avidly, and you're one of my regular morning check-ins to see what the great stoic sanity Stefan has from Sanity from Sweden. As I know many of your subscribers are here, we say a big welcome to the Grand Stream. Delighted you could join us. I said to you before we went live this evening that I just wanted to say a big thank you to both you and your partner. Like many of us in this alt media circle, and like many people in their own circles as well, you've gone through some very fraught and fractured situations in your personal circumstance with relationships with your family, and then also your personal circle and stuff like that. And it does put a stress because you're speaking out pretty much like myself, pretty much like all the other great voices out there on your side of the pond, my side of the pond, because it is a global happening that is being perpetrated upon us. And I very much want to say, because I followed your story, with the in-laws, and I hear many great similar stories, the same where people, their relationships fracture. So I wanted to say to both your partner as well, because she doesn't get enough mention in it as well. It's hard as well.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a surprise. I think a lot of people are surprised. When I started to speak up, I didn't expect any of this. It came as a surprise, which was naive, I suppose. I just didn't expect it. And my partner has been great, fantastic, very brave, very brave. Yeah. She went through some bad times.
Indeed, yeah.
What about you?
I've been following you. Yeah, pretty much the same. But I wanted to give you your plaudits there as well, and I wanted to incorporate and bring in your partner there as well, because I know when the family fractures occur like that, it is quite a testing time, But you stuck to your guns. And pretty much in your last couple of posts, you said, "Look, this is my opinion. This is what I think, and this is what I will say, and I will continue to say it," which is what you said recently on your post as well, and I firmly stand beside that as well. It's the way we just have to speak up. We have to allow these ideas to reach the zeitgeist for people's minds, so that they can be played with, either agreed with or disagreed with, but there has to be given space for alternative opinions, and that's very much a global thing. Do you see that as well, Stefan?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I heard stories, of course. I remember a father lost contact with his daughter. It's bad stuff, but you can't stop, can you? That's the way it is. You couldn't let them stop you. It's just impossible. I couldn't live with it.
Yeah.
If I decided to stop, because they didn't like it, it would be It would be like a spiritual suicide, sort of.
It's like the red pill, blue pill phenomenon that you speak of. Once you awaken, once you allow yourself to be open to one sort of evident truth, one plainly observable fact. Like I was listening to my learned friend Lionel over in New York, and he reiterating the point of his moment was the 9/11, what the story that was given out to what the architects and engineers were purporting and proposing in their lawsuit, which is still going through the American judicial system, and then it's bringing 9/11 back into the fray again. And we were seeing, I think I also seen a clip there as well from what's that puppet movie, Captain America or something like that. They said it's a 9/11 100 times worse. Yeah, that's right. It's 1911 times worse. This false flag, this event, because people are speaking out about therapeutic pressures. People are exposing the globalist plan, and they've turned up the heat too quick. They've had to rush it in because of what I believe was President Trump's embargoes on Europe and China and the rest. It's thrown the global market into a frenzy, and particularly being an election year in the United States now as well. Democrats are just throwing everything they have in their armory to try and stop and dismantle him getting in for a second term.
Yeah, I believe you are totally correct about this. They had to rush it, and it's incredible what's going on, isn't it? You can't believe it. And I thought that the climate hysteria was bad, but this is 10 times worse, and there's a desperation about it. I'm quite excited about what's going on, actually, and at the same time sort of terrified. But I'm quite excited because I think they have done a huge blunder this time, and it will be exposed too quickly. I was too for them, at least, and for us it will be sweet.
We are, well, not to say that we are, but common sense. Logos is rising, as I say, as the good E. Michael Jones, who is now being taken down from social media, along with other leviathans like Stefan Molyneux as well, has been cancelled from the YouTube platform. And I'm sure most and all of his avid followers will find him on all the alternative medias as the censorship, as November draws closer and closer. We see the bigger accounts being wiped out, those the voices that go against the narrative. My good friend SGT Shaman being demonetized, but still, with his great support and his subscribers, they managed to keep speaking out. And some of the reports that SGT is dropping out from the American side is absolutely incredible. We are in very interesting times. What can you tell us, anything over in Sweden that we should be, keeping an eye on, apart from checking in with your drops?
Well, the recent big story is, of course, the Swedish government accepted this EU deal where Sweden will pay tons of money right now and also in the future. Mm-hmm. So the government went against the people again. They know it, of course, but it doesn't seem that they care. The government seems to care about Angela Merkel, Emmanuel Macron, get the approval from these globalist stars. Yeah, they want to look good, in front of their friends in Brussels. That's what it looks like to me. They want to look good in the eyes of the United Nations and the globalist elite. So they don't care about Swedes. They know the Swedes hate this stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's anyone who's got kids, they know this money will be paid by our grandchildren. They will be the ones who will suffer.
And I say that here in this platform too as well. You say you care about your children's futures, but yet you're letting them steal it right before their very eyes. I make that analogy in relation to mass immigration. no matter the huge decrease in labor and the meltdown of wages on the free movement of labor, which is the economic argument for it, and then with the mass transportation of different cultures, balkanizing Europe and putting different cultures at stress and at anger. Sweden, and if you're paying attention to the alternative media, pockets of Sweden are unrecognizable from what they would have been 10 years ago. It's you've got pocket holes of different entities throughout Sweden, but the taxpayer lumbers on, paying tooth and nail for it. I think your economy is going to start floundering because the welfare bill is being pushed through the debt ceiling. Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been going down for a long time. The Swedes are getting poorer and poorer by the week. And they don't know it, they don't realize it, but that's the truth. The Swedish currency is dropping. It's been dropping for a very, very long time. Now, about the censorship, I want to say something. They cancel all these great channels. I don't think they know what they are doing. I don't think they. Well, I think they have this idea that if we just shut these people up, this will all go away. Well, it won't, of course. No, it's like trying to stop a tsunami. It's totally impossible. Even if you shut some of the, you close down some channels, it's not going to go away. It's actually going to make it worse. So their plan sucks. Their strategy is very, very bad. But I don't think they know what else to do. We just have to shut these people up somehow, which is incredible. Just the idea, the frame of mind that goes into this mental calculation. We have to shut them up, and we take the big ones, and then maybe this will all vanish.
People just go along with our perfect plan.
These ideas will just vanish. They seem to have this idea that these ideas are promoted by certain individuals. If you just get these individuals out of the way, other people, all the people who has been listening to them, will all of a sudden realize, oh, it was not real. These guys were lying or something. Well, this is not happening because it was the truth, you see, and the truth will not go away, and these ideas will not go away. They will just keep growing. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Fantastic. When we spoke earlier on before we came into the show as well, we touched upon the same thing. You mentioned it to me as well, that about strategies and possible solutions and things going forward. And speaking about, give me some of the suggestions or some of the things you see. You said you wanted to speak on that as well. What are your thoughts on that? Solutions going forward?
Well, I think it's pretty simple, actually. You just take a good look at the globalists, and then you look at what they hate the most, you see. What they don't like, what they are trying to censor, what they are trying to do. But mainly what they hate. You look at what they hate, and what is it? Well, it's people talking to each other, getting united, agreeing with each other, see, exchanging ideas. This is what they hate the most. They want to stop this, you see. So that's exactly what you do. That's the first and most important thing. You talk to other people. You find friends in your neighborhood who's got the same ideas that you have. You unite with people who think the same as you do. And you start to act together, see. They don't want a lot of people acting together. That's what they don't like. And what you do, I mean, it's up to you. You just get your bright ideas and do them. Yeah. I was thinking about this guy in, I think it was in New Jersey. He had this gym. Yeah. And the mayor said, this gym must be closed, and he refused to do it. And he said, you don't listen to tyrants. You don't do as the tyrants tell you. You do the opposite. Yeah, it's your responsibility to be disobedient. And this guy was, I really like this guy. So he kept the gym open. And the mayor and the authorities said, we're coming to arrest you. And he said, go ahead, arrest me. That's fantastic. This is the things that we need. We need people to go up against them. And for this, you need to be in big numbers, of course. Well, it's easier, isn't it? So uniting, exchanging ideas, getting bright ideas, and then do them. This is what they hate. So that's
where
exactly
have I heard that before, Stefan? I'm sure. I think I might have said that once or twice here in this stream as well. Don't get me if I'm wrong, but I think I might have suggested something similar. But yeah, it's get more involved in real life, isn't it?
Yeah, well, repeating it doesn't make it untrue, does it?
No, absolutely. And it's about spreading the good vibrations. It's about spreading, sending out the good vibrations, as we say, disseminating information. People, if you're just curious, pull on this thread, have a listen to this, have a think on this. All may not be as it might appear to be, but I agree fervently. I've often said it myself. Get involved with people in your local area that think along the same lines as you, people that are active. We've got many great different organizations popping up over here as the swell of understanding and people begin to, find their confidence in speaking out. And we've got a huge waft of great speakers. Many I'm privileged to have here on my show as well. I come up and speak during the mornings, but out there in the mainstream and on other different platforms are beginning to resonate with ordinary focus because they don't seem to be able, they can't trust what the government is saying. Our government has already lied about the figures over here and said that they may have overinflated the COVID death figures by some 60%.
60%.
We might have even shut down our whole economy if we take, certain calculations into persuasion. We might have shut down our whole economy here for 265 deaths. Meanwhile, suicides are on the increase. Nobody talks about the calamity that was the cancer screening debacle that our government was engaged. Previous government were still in power. Nobody talks about those crimes against humanity or those young women that had to suffer a horrible death because of the ineptitude of the people that now are mainstream are lauding for the handling of this condition. Meanwhile, they're just being told to do by Brussels, by the World Health Organization and the CDC, and then are being called everything. All that information is up and down, cannot be trustworthy. And meanwhile, Gates is defending himself on CNN with Anderson Cooper, saying that there's crazy conspiracies going around, and they can't speak because they're so nervous because they know the eyes of the world are now beginning to look at them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They didn't think this through properly. They didn't. They had this idea to do this, and they thought it would be all right. But they didn't count on the people. I mean, the doctors, for instance. They possibly believed that the doctors would be quiet. Well, that's a lot of doctors. It's very hard to keep them all quiet, right? So they didn't think this through. No, they made a huge mistake with this COVID thing. And I think the COVID crisis could be the real wake-up call for a lot of normal people. I mentioned this in a video some time ago, and this is what I believe. I think people, when they realize what's been going on here with the COVID-19, which they will eventually, they will start to wake up. People who really didn't care after all, but they will sort of wake up and think, what the hell is this? What have they done? You see? So, yeah, it's really, really exciting and incredible in many ways that this is going on. It's absolutely mad. Yeah.
We've got some great comments in our live chat here. I have live chat down here beside me and popping up some of your questions as well. We might bring it into our last 10 minutes again, but and as we wind up this conversation, Stefan, again, I want to thank you for joining me. But anything pertinent happening in the Swedish area? I know you mentioned that the Swedish Democrats or the Swedish nationalist movement is beginning to take over certain pockets and areas in smaller elections in Sweden. Do you see that increase in nationalism coming back in Sweden as well?
Yeah, it's been growing steadily for a very long time. What happened politically is quite exciting as well, because the nationalists, the Sweden Democrats, they have they are becoming more and more accepted, by the other political parties, because the other parties are forced to accept them, not that they want to, they just have to, because if this is what we have seen, the parties who will not listen, who will not talk to the nationalists, they are dropping in the polls. So they are forced to start listening to them. So that's a big thing, I think. I'm very happy about this. And then there is a new party. It started before the last election. It's called Alternative for Sweden.
Very good.
And this is growing now rapidly. And well, this is the party that I would like to vote for, and I voted for them the last election because this is actually a really patriotic nationalist party. They want deportations. They want Sweden out of the EU. They want the stuff that I want, basically. So I will be promoting this party before the next election, and I hope.
When is that, Stefan? Do you know when the next election? When is your next election cycle?
It's in 2 years.
2 years. We've 5 years supposedly for our next election. 5 years is going to be a lot of damage if we're the best boys in Brussels classroom and ready to accept anything they want us. We've already increased our debt to payments to nearly 3,500 per man, woman, and child over here. We pay in a little, come in at fourth in one of the net contributors to the Brussels experiment, even as it fails and burns in flames. Sweden is not that far in front of us either. We are chasing you. We want to beat you as the best boy, the best pupil in the department.
When I saw the list, and when I saw Ireland there, I felt terrible about it. I can't imagine what it feels like. Terrible.
It's socialist economics. It's money grows on the fairy tree. We'll just borrow our way out of it. The World Bank is going to entice us, give us more and more money. We're going to buy into the, 750 billion, or they're going to hedge up for like 1 trillion in coronavirus funds. Will the ordinary man in the street see that? Or are they going to use it to keep the mortgage and the vulture funds off people's backs, off the taxpayers' back? Meanwhile, we have communists in the Oireachtas here today saying that residents, they get this from people before profit, or profit before people, as I like to ascribe to them, saying that every person that resides here in this country, as it states in our constitution, should be given the benefit of a house or a roof over their head. Anybody, so you can come off the airplane, book yourselves 3 or 4 weeks, pay 2 or 3 months residence, and according to our socialists, Wonder Boys now, free houses for everybody, and sure, Mick is paying for it. Mick's on the way out. Mick's had enough. Mick's waking up and saying, hang on a minute. Not only are you going after us, after our jobs, which we all thought we'd all put the shoulder to the wheel, but now with the new sex education that's coming up here in the Republic of Ireland, many parents are saying this is getting out of control, and they're not telling us what we need to hear, because many teachers over here are completely unaware, and they say, sure, it'll never happen. But these Educate, Celebrate, and this new sex education will bring in third-party facilitators, and they'll have the run of the classroom while the teacher steps aside, and then they'll be exposed to a whole new world of LGBTQ craziness. Anything like that happening over in Sweden? I think you're very much at the forefront of the sexual education over there.
We shouldn't talk about Sweden and these questions, actually, these issues. No, it's very embarrassing. Yeah. So that's how it is.
That's how it is.
Have you do you notice any positive signs with your friends and your colleagues? Do you see nationalism coming up in Ireland?
Absolutely, Stefan. Yeah, and I want to say that it's registering very small. Our detractors would be like, you only registered 1% in the poll, but from small acorns, big oak trees will grow, and it's very much in the national conscious and the national psyche at the moment that people are very much confused. People are, as they will be because of the COVID crisis and the misinformation and the general distrust of our politicians. So I do feel that there's a conscious awakening. There is an awakening of sorts, and it branches out and represents itself on many different platforms. Socialist left, centre left, the yellow vests are here. Everybody's got a position on it, but more and more groups are starting to speak out in regional areas around the country, and whatever their position is, it may not align. We may not all align in our thinking, but one thing is we can say is that this situation has been very poorly handled, and people are now beginning to ask questions, not only of the politicians, but the media and its complicity in all of this playing along. So I'd imagine that's pretty much the same in Sweden too, the media driving the government narrative.
Oh, absolutely. And you see how this connects to what I said before, what they hate the most is that we talk to each other, we agree, and we unite, because when you unite behind a leader, for instance, then you get some power, you see. So they don't want people to talk to each other. They want people to sit separate. They want people to be divided. It's very important to them because as soon as people start talking, they will eventually agree on something. It always happens, especially when good people talk to each other. They will agree, they will find a leader, and they will support the leader. And then they are in deep trouble. You saw what happened in Spain, for instance. You didn't see any nationalism in Spain for a long, long time. And then all of a sudden it came this Vox party. And in a few months, in 6 months, I don't know, very, very quickly, it grew tremendously. So people must have been talking, of course. That's what happened. And this is what the globalists, and that's what the elite doesn't want. They don't want people to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
It pisses me off, of course. But we're not the first ones to experience this. This is it's been going on through history. Same pattern. Yeah. Many, many hundreds of years. This has been going on.
But we might be, as you say, exciting times. I mean, if we go up to the macro level, Stefan, and look at it from the higher picture, we are, as you say, we are living in historically exciting and different times. There is a changing of the guard. There is a huge shift globally because we are all paying attention and we are all, seeing what's transpiring. Could this be the final capitulation of the old guard? What we in certain communities would see as the upper elites, with the stock market now on the precipice, crashing, the derivative bubbles that I've often spoken about now about to smash open when we see Bitcoin, silver, and gold stocks rapidly increasing, and the threat, not the threat, I would say, but the small backward conversation that the Americans might go back to the gold standard, and that will have huge ramifications on the global market as well. Are you paying attention on anything like that, Stefan, or is that in your?
Well, I can sort of feel it with my gut. I don't research much into this. I'm more interested in people, actually. Because also the leaders, the elite. I'm very interested in these people, what they are doing and why, and the psychology behind it stuff. This is very fascinating, and what we can do. This is very interesting to me. We can sort it out. You see, a lot of work to be done, though.
Yeah, but the journey begins, and it has started. There is no more inertia in conservative viewpoints or common sense viewpoints. There is an activation of sorts. People are, as we say, they are meeting in real life, and it is taking hold. We've started to get, numerous protests and demonstrations, but people organising to show their dissent with the current situation that the establishment here in the Republic of Ireland is laying out for it. I can only see that growing. But I've often said it, and you're very much well aware of it. The only thing that politicians fear, apart from the well, I was going to say the vote, but the only thing the politicians really fear is numbers on the streets. People actively engaging in dissenting with the politics of the time, and dissent and coming out in great numbers. And that's what they fear, because they know that people are activated to take to the streets, that they will be activated in the polling booths as well. But we have our situation over here with our ballot system as well coming into contradiction. But if there's an overwhelming majority, if there's a successful candidate or a party politic idea that the majority of people can come together, and I always include left and right, because there are many decent people on the left as well, and they see the radical left and the antics that it's pushing, and saying this is nothing like, the socialism that I would ascribe to from way before, or people over even considering themselves classic libertarianism, saying this radical leftism has just gone off the charts. It's too much. So there's an opportunity, as it happened in Italy, and sorry to belabor the point, but we see in Matteo Salvini, when the government, they had a left and right coalition, and it was very important. It worked. They came together for the nation's good. Sorry, Stefan, take over there for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and we're doing. This is also a very important job, of course, that we have. We have to replace, and this is what we are doing. We are replacing mainstream media slowly but surely. We are replacing them, and I can see in maybe 3-4 years' time, when people want to know, I'm now talking about the average person, when they want to know what really happened, they will go to independent media to find out. And
yes.
when this is the fact, then we have won. You see, because getting rid of mainstream media is, of course, very, very important, and they are doing it to themselves, of course. It's pathetic to see how truth is so scarce in mainstream media. It's like when they get close to the truth, you can almost feel them getting paranoid, looking over their shoulders. See, they are very confident and they feel secure as long as they have a story to tell, and they will know that this is not really true, and they will feel confident about it. But when they get close to the truth, they get very nervous. So they are doing it to themselves. But it's important for us, I think, to be truthful. Of course, it is, as much as possible, because we are replacing them. And if we are going to be a good replacement, we need to be extremely truthful and not exaggerate, not sensationalize things. Just speak the truth.
Not mislead. We've got many alternative platforms. You got Del Bigtree doing some amazing work out there on the high wire. Many great alternative media platforms that are huge in value and production and give a great waft of information. Great and selling. And I don't understand people that still tune in and check out the propaganda that's pushed in their face by the Black Mirror anymore. And it's such a relief to not even pay attention to it anymore.
Yes.
You get your little snippets. We have many great little. We had the Irish Wolf here recently lost the YouTube station, but many different platforms dissecting the pertinent bits of information that we need for what they've said, so that we can carry the conversation from their throwaway remarks. We recently had, and sorry to be gratuitous, but when we hear politicians, particularly over Labour here, speaking recently, that talking about the world of sexual health education again, that 4-year-olds touch themselves in certain ways. This is the kind of crazy thing that often gets lost in the heat of the debate. But when they throw away a flippant remark like that, that's when the social media picks them up on it and sort of drives the, what did you mean by this? Can you explain this? And they're like, well, this isn't the easy ride that we're used to getting of the mainstream because they all hang around in that bubble. I'll let you crack on there. Sorry to speak so quickly.
No problem. Yeah, I love it when they get nervous. We see them in interviews on mainstream media, in television, and when they, the politicians or any person any globalist get interviewed and they realize that he said something. Okay, this will be in independent media tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love this nervousness that you start to detect this with these people. And the Swedish PM, for instance, he doesn't do debates anymore because he knows he can't handle them. When he's getting answers, when it's off script, you see, he's doing a very poor job. So he doesn't do any of them anymore. Like Joe Biden, you see, they know it. They know they will make a fool out of themselves in these debates, and it will be all over independent media the next day, and people will laugh, and they will be exposed. They just know it.
Not only laugh, Stefan. Sorry, quickly, but we had an incident back here just as well where there was so much build-up from social media that we had the Minister for Children come under scrutiny for his attachment to, shall we say, various different characters, not to bring the algorithms into our way here, but the other politicians felt that they had to respond to it because their email boxes, then their inboxes were filling up from concerned parents and citizens filling up their inbox. So, and I don't think they ever realized that that's the influence of social media. Fill up their inbox, ring their phones, and then they're not used to that and they react. They have to speak out.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. So, well, this is what we are doing, and this is what needs to be done. We have to replace mainstream media totally. And when this happens, we will have won. Basically, that's what I think, because they can't control the information any longer.
Yeah,
and I think they still believe that they do control information for some reason, which they don't. They really don't. But they still believe it. We just make this press release, we interview this expert, and then we make this beautiful show of it, and people will believe it. But this is not the case anymore. It's not happening because there's so many of us now that will expose them. You just imagine what kind of viewers numbers we are talking about. If you look at all these channels that exist, it's incredible.
Even with the censorship.
Even with it, yes. So it's I like this.
It's an exciting time. Stefan, I think we'll wind it up there. I want to thank you for joining me this evening and giving us your thoughts and your observations from your viewpoint over there in Sweden. And keep up the great work. Keep going. Don't ever stop. Never surrender. Never say sorry.
Same to you. I love what you're doing, Rowan. It's great to have you, to know you, see what you're doing in Ireland. It's fantastic. I feel we are doing the same thing basically, and it's great.
Sir,
yeah.
So thanks. It's a great pleasure to know you, and to you, sir. Yeah, thanks, Stefan. I appreciate that, and I think they feel exactly the same. You're doing some great work over there, where even with all the flack that we draw, but it has to be done. We can't stop, can we?
No. Well, thanks for inviting me. It was great.
I'm sure when you get your live stream up, you'll be running quiz shows pretty much in the future. Who remembers back in 2020, June of 2020, when I accidentally stumped out and Sweden came crashing down. Stefan, I'd say an absolute joy. Live chat, if you could, please give a virtual round of applause to our good friend Stefan and his subscribers in the live chat. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, Stefan. I'm going to let you go. The live chat is lighting up. People are saying, thanks very much for swinging by. Thank you, Stefan. Stay strong, everyone. You've turned it. some people saying goodbye there as well. That's a big mama girl. Round of applause. I'll let you go there, Stefan. I'm going to wind up. I'll talk to you soon. Take care, brother.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, there, like, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank Stefan once again for joining us this evening. I hope you enjoyed that little disquisition, that little conversation between Stefan and myself. Please, if you're new, before you leave the show, don't forget, smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Hit the subscription if you want to check in with us. Hit the bell and you'll be notified of future broadcasts here in the Grand Torino. Please, if you would, if you could, please consider becoming a member of the Grand Stream by clicking on the join button. And for the price, for as little as a cup of coffee a month, you can help support this platform to remain independent. So we can bring you these, many other conversations, and our twice daily live streams as well. Links in the description box on the other platforms where you can support us, and also on the Gran Torino website, World Wide Web, grantorino.ie. Now, as we always do, as I like to finish up, ladies and gentlemen, the live chat, a virtual hug, where you are in the world, your current disposition, and we'll sign off with a little roll call before we say goodbye to everybody in Wonderland. Let me just bring that up there so I have it everything keyed up for you there before we wait for the live chat to give us their roll call before they say goodnight. Blue Graham 1 says nighty night all. Liz Pepper's joining us, 52 from Tala. I'm reading it over here in the little platform. I'll try and keep it up over here. Rex Barner throwing out the kisses. Organic Teas 43 from Cork. Thank you very much. Organic Tea. Peace Poppy joining from Liverpool. Feeling content. Keisha joining us, 45 from South Dublin. Wonderful to see you, Keisha. Counted down from Jay Noble, 53. 51 from Angie Mack in Donegal. Franco Driscoll joining us from Kilkenny. Kinseely with Susie W. Limerick City from James Collins. Great to see you, James. Siobhan McNeenan, big hug from Wexford to all. Ronnie Grimm from Denmark saying a hello and a goodbye. Rogue Z joining us from the UK. 16, Slán Awalia Mahara. Good night to all. Still 54 from the Kingdom. That's Kerry, for those of you outside the boundaries of the Kingdom. Brenda Cassidy joining us from the hills of Donegal. From the hills of Donegal. That's where I met her. We stroll on. Wexford 45 from Liam Kelly. Ava Bell from Dallas, Texas. Great to see you. Vash the Stampede from says Trump 2Q. What on earth could you mean by that? Let me ponder on that one. Off to Torquay from TT. Thomas Coulter is 60 in County Down. Mandy McCall joining us from Wicklow. Fantastic. Great to meet you. Emma, relaxed 40-year-old in the Navan. Shawnee Mack is in Kilkenny. The breaking point was 2014. Is 56 in Mayo. Great to see you there. We've got Guilov at a fab 50 from Lord Sod, 69. Stardale D. Who could forget? Is California 54 and listening to Big Tech testify in Congress. What will we learn? Is anyone going to jail? Is what we want to know. Liam Fleming is in West Cork. Colin Roachworth is in Dublin. Dean Gallagher, 41 in a wet Donegal. Keeping it real. Teresa Dunn is joining us from Santry. Nights and Blessings from Indiana from Chanel Cesardi. Great to meet you. Pepe Yadawak Gay, 54 in Rosslare. Mind Care is 49 in Dublin 20. Noel Kelly is D7. Appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words. Tinkerbell. She's in Manchester, 57. Ragnar Iron Spears, 48, all the way from Valhalla. Anne Fries in Galway, 53. Darren O'Huelig, 47, and Hopeful in Tala. We've got Open Minds, 47 in London. Natas Sezuj is Limerick, 55. Smoking a reefer. Careful now. Down with that sort of thing. Sandy Ford from NPM Tired is in Mullingar from Edwina O'Keefe. And thank you to you, Jenny. Appreciate that. Dublin in the house from Mama Bear. Kenneth Geary, 21 and a bit in Dublin. Keep going, young man. Keep going. 48. Leash, enjoyed that stream. Thanks, Mary Board. Really appreciate that. We have 55 in the USA from Vash the Stampede. Hegos is in Limerick. And I'm going to read them all in because I just love seeing where everybody is. Up the Viking from Henry Munsey. Mary from Dunglow is Shawnee Mack. And as we round it out, we will say Free to Speak is Claire. 60s Lovely World is Wexford, 61. As they roll in from all around. Ross Common from King, Brian Brew. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been fantastic. See you in the morning, 8 a.m. Be there. Or sorry, 8 a.m. 9 a.m. GMT. We'd love to see you there. Everybody look after yourself. Have a great night. Boss.